Hello and welcome to the Great Game Debate podcast. Today I am still guest hosting Jonah Gomez, and we got a fun debate for you guys today. I'm really excited for it. But let's introduce everyone. To my right, I got Mateo. I guess it's my left. I don't know. How you doing, sir?
I never know which way it's gonna go whenever we're doing the captures, dude.
For our viewers, if you're looking at the screen, it's to my right, but if it's me in the computer, it's to my left. It's whatever. And above me, filling in for both Steven and Caden, because he's a freaking legend and he's got that much personality, we got Ryan Stabell from Friendly Fire. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Did you put me above you because I'm so tall? It's just to like match the real life.
I was hoping that like your hosting talent would drip down onto me and I could succeed this episode without like failing, but I don't know. I'm already on a rocky start, so we'll see.
I did turn off the air conditioning, so I drip a little bit more.
Ooh.
I usually have like a no dripping policy. Like I don't want to be dripped on by anything in my everyday life.
Have you seen this man? He's full of drip though. And rounding out the show, we have podcast best DM. Is that how you say it, Eric?
I am the best DM in podcast.
The best DM in podcasting, Eric Silver. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Eric Silver. I'm 32. I never learned how to read, and I'm still distracted from the fact that Mateo chiefed some massive vape clouds earlier when Jonah was describing how the podcast was going to go.
That's how we mesmerize every guest that comes on. I just blow a big cloud, and they can't focus anymore. It's part of my strategy.
Janet Garcia seemed really distracted. Now I understand why.
It's ceremonial, honestly. He's got the ceremonial big puff to bring in the new guest.
Yeah, and now I got that tutti frutti flavor in my nose, and I'm absolutely ready to podcast.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
All right, with that, I hope you guys entered the Gungeon to pick up Shade's revolver, because it's time for the icebreaker. Oh, I like the bop. I'm going to get the icebreaker sound either right before or right after the bop. It'll be in there. We'll be able to hear it.
Zach punched so hard that he vanished. He broke reality for a second.
All right. Mateo, you got the icebreaker question, right?
I do. I've got one from our community here. It's kind of a quick one. But let's see. What is your go-to name for the character Link in The Legend of Zelda?
I think normally I just go with Link, but I think I'm gonna have to go with oh god, what was it? My buddy and I, we were like, I don't know, 10, and we're playing Ocarina of Time, and I think we named him like shithead or asshole, and every time somebody refers to him, it's like, hey asshole, will you go get this? And it's like, hey, that's so funny. It's so funny. Is it funny now? A little bit.
It's still kind of funny.
It's just a little funny. Ryan, what about you?
I'm also a Link guy myself. Not a huge Zelda player either, but
disappointing.
I think I played 3 Zelda games. But there's always one name that sticks in my mind. If anyone was a Game Grumps fan for a long time, they played a lot of different Zelda games, and I will forever think of Link as Spance.
Spance! Yes! They what was that Twilight Princess when they named him? I think it was the Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
And they named
him sounds like
Spance.
Twilight Princess.
Is this just pants with an S at the beginning?
Yes.
Spance?
And a Z at the end.
Wasn't it Z's at the end? Yeah.
It's like multiple Z's at the end. So every time an NPC would refer to him and be like, Spence! And it was gold. Eric, what is your name for Link?
Do anything and be famous on YouTube in 2012. I used to watch that stuff, but when I watch old videos of Game Grumps, I'm like, man, you could just do anything if you were two mid-20s guys and one of you had long hair and one of you had short hair.
Golden age of
Wild.
YouTube, dude.
Incredible.
Uh,
The names for Link that I do is either the one that's on my Nintendo Switch, which is Thrill House, or it would be Eggs, which is the name I always end up putting for games that I end up playing with my wife.
Eggs?
We're house breakfast when we were streaming, and I was toast and she was eggs.
Oh, I love it.
So we always end up putting eggs, but it's just also funny just to put eggs. So it stands on its own and in context.
Hey,
I dig
Eggs,
it.
I'm going
I
to
dig
need 20 rupees for that. Fork them over. All right, Mateo, round us out. What do you name?
Oh,
Link?
I'm old school. I'm old school, dude. I played my original Zelda was on the NES, all that fun stuff. So my character is always named Zelda. It is called The Legend of Zelda. So obviously the main character was Zelda. That's what my little tiny smooth brain little boy brain decided way back when. So I've just rocked with it since then.
I thought you were gonna be like, yes, and I also did Shithead. Absolutely. I'm old school, dog.
Well, that's his last name.
Zelda shithead. I love it. All right, Eric, you said you also have an icebreaker question for us.
Yes, at the beginning of every episode of Games and Feelings, which is the games advice show that I do.
Okay.
One of the many podcasts that I create. We also do an icebreaker all the time, and this is the one that I always have in my pocket just in case. If you wanted to make a Marvel versus Capcom style fighter out of your favorite TV show, which TV show do you think would be the most effective?
Oh, that is
Which would translate the best, do you think?
So it's like Capcom and this TV show?
No, just like the style of arcade, the style of fighter. It could be like an old Tekken that you can only play at your dentist's office. This could be Virtual Fighter, where the polygons are just so sharp, that's how you attack it. Any sort of like arcade fighter. At the time when I asked this, Succession was the only thing that was running through my head because I'm a cousin Greg main. He just has long reach, and I think that's really important.
You know, I feel like this show is like such a deep cut, and nobody ever knows about it. Do any of you guys know what Shaolin Showdown is?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes, I feel like that would be such a good arcade fighter. And like you get to pick like which one of your magical items you go into, and then whoever wins unlocks the one that they're fighting for. Plus they get the one. Oh man, I feel like that would be a fun one. And
I'm sure that that was a Flash game. That must have been a Flash game at some point.
I mean, man. So Shaolin Showdown was this like 4Kids TV cartoon, and it was a bunch of student monks that were very, very like for the times, like how would you say it, Eric?
Are you trying to say diverse? Is that what you're trying to get at?
But it was like very on the nose, like
yeah, like one of them was a cool guy, one of them was a cowboy, one of them was a girl, and the main monk was like a little actual monk who like always said like jilted action movie phrases of English phrases.
Yeah.
Is this diversity? Diversity is having a cowboy, a little girl.
At the time, yes.
All the demographics.
Yeah.
The cool kid with slicked back hair, which
his name was Raymundo.
Yeah.
That's representation.
Raymundo
is maybe the most rad name you can have, honestly.
But he was like kind of the bad boy. He went over to the bad guys for a little bit, and he came back. Oh man, Raymundo was freaking awesome, and he had wind techniques. Oh, so cool. Ryan, you look lost in thought.
I am. I don't watch a lot of TV shows, nor am I huge on fighting games, so I'm struggling to to come to the show that I want to talk about the most is BoJack Horseman, but I'm struggling to figure out how that becomes a fighting game.
That would be depressing.
You gotta unlock David Boreanaz when you beat the arcade mode. Yeah, 100%. That totally works. Yeah. There's a lot of alternate win conditions of just like getting through your trauma.
Yeah, yes, or like triggering harder trauma. That's like
And it does damage to yourself.
finish him is like
Yeah.
mentally.
You have both an HP bar and also an emotional health bar.
I like
Yeah.
the balance too. That's a twist on the fighting game formula. Here we go.
You can resolve every fight before the fight with like dialogue options.
Mhm.
We're just making D&D again. We're just
Little
making Baldur's Gate 3.
Undertale-y.
There is a microtransaction, but the microtransaction currency is just tiers.
Yeah.
Mateo, what do you got for the question?
Mine might be a little bit more light. I've been watching a lot of Community lately, so I just really like the idea of like a Troy and Abed character, but they're a tag team duo, and they just, every time they tag back in, they're in a different mode.
It's
Like it's
Mortal
like
Kombat 1, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love the idea that only works if like you can swap in between like generations of video game. It's like you could do like a 16-bit, go to like the polygons, go through the 64. I love that you're playing Mario Maker, but it's a fighting game in that way. You can kind of switch in between.
I dig that. There's got to be a claymation like form of them, obviously,
yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
So I know you said Succession, Eric, but do you have a different show for this question? I want to hear
Succession
you.
would be good. I've had a lot of I have been thinking a lot about King of the Hill lately, and I think that would be deep roster.
Dale Gribble with that pocket sand move.
Oh, the pocket sand, yeah.
R.I.P. to Dale Gribble.
Is Hank just gonna be constantly carrying around like a propane tank, and he just does heavy hits?
Jonah, can I tell you it's propane and propane accessories?
Oh, sorry.
That is a fact. I can confirm. I'm from Texas. We're pretty close to, Arlen's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Wait, can we allow propane? Isn't that a gas attack?
Mm.
Might be against the
Nice.
Geneva Conventions.
Nice. Those Geneva Convention jokes. Let's go.
It's an empty tank with accessories. There might be residual gas in it. Who knows?
Who's going to be the best fighter in the King of the Hill roster?
Bobby.
I think that Bobby dominates the meta for a while until he gets nerfed. Like Meta Knight in Brawl.
Exactly.
It's too much.
Well, Bobby's got that unbeatable like move. Like I don't know how deep have y'all gone into King of the Hill? Because there's the self-defense episode where he's just kicking everyone in the nuts. Like that's his entire fighting technique. And then he tries to kick Peggy, and she's like, "You'll find, Bobby, that I don't have testicles." And the neighbor next door yells like, "She's lying! Kick her again!" So Bobby might dominate every male character in that game.
It'd be even better if it was just a one-hit KO. Like that's like his smash move is he just kicks you in the nuts. And it doesn't matter who it is. It's just an instant KO. It's like Little Mac's KO punch. He just kicks you in the crotch.
He's got a catchphrase built into him. I'm pretty sure he yells, "That's not your purse," or don't take my purse," or something when he kicks. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I love it. I think we need to write this down, mail it to ourselves so we have a copyright thing for it, and we need. I don't know how
you do a patent, but we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Fox, hit us up. We'll make your game. I think. I don't know. All right, now that the ice is broken, I think we'll get a little spicy and we'll move on to the debate. And we're back for the debate. We have the ultimate roguelike debate. Roguelite, who knows? They're similar enough. With Eric Silver representing Enter the Gungeon versus Mateo representing Risk of Rain 2. Two fantastic roguelike games. I can't wait to see these two go head to head. Eric, as our guest, would you like to start or close the debate today?
I'm more than happy to start.
Ooh, with the confidence, starting first.
For sure.
All right. Just a reminder, you both have your assist trophy, which is the lovely Ryan Stubbs. Eric, you've got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Thank you so much, Judge, Jury, Executioner. Hey, folks. First, again, because you don't know who I am, I would like to establish my bona fides here. I've attached 2 screenshots of me beating the game, totally 100% and getting the finished gun of Enter the Gungeon. And you can see right there that I played Enter the Gungeon on my Switch for over 685 hours. That's how replayable it is. That's how good this fucking game is.
Ooh.
As opposed to Risk of Rain 2, which is like, what if we made Fortnite gritty, I guess, question mark. I think that when we're talking about how we're going to make, if Gungeon is the best, right, then we have to look at it in 3 different ways. The first would be the fact that this Gungeon established what Devolver is, which is like the highest tier right now of independent developer outside of the AAA. I mean, Gungeon, this came out in 2016, and this was way before they started doing Fall Guys. Where did they learn where to make good games? Where did they learn how to publish stuff with Dodge Roll? Well, probably with Enter the Gungeon. It was like Hotline Miami was the first really good thing they did, and then Enter the Gungeon then led into this era. Also, they still remember it. I got merch at PAX East of an Enter the Gungeon hat, which is great. The second is this video game is actually kind of funny. Now, from everything you might have seen from Baldur's Gate 3, apparently the line for video game hilarity is like Family Guy humor, which is what we're getting at.
30 seconds.
The series of references in Enter the Gungeon is incredible, but really, we're talking about the motherfucking guns. It's fun to pick up a fish shooting in a barrel. It's fun to pick up the railgun from Metal Gear Solid. It's fun to pick up something called a lightsaber gun that reflects bullets. It's incredible, and it's goddamn hard. And that's why I like it. I looked on Google. There are 6.5 million entries on Google asking how hard is Enter the Gungeon, and I think that's something.
How hard is Enter the Gungeon?
It's very hard. It's incredibly hard. A lot of people complaining on Eurogamer message threads, being like, "Why is it so hard?"
In that voice too. Why is it so hard? I don't like it.
Hard, bruv, because it's Eurogamer.
All right, Mateo, you've got 2 minutes on the clock for your opening statement. 3, 2, 1, debate.
So, Risk of Rain 2, as Eric pointed out, Jonah, I gotta tell you, dude, it's basically Fortnite the roguelike, and it's amazing. The movement is so good in it.
He said it!
It's so the aiming, like everything about it is just smooth and perfect. You're stuck in being able to point in, just around you in Enter the Gungeon, this top-down thing. What if you added a 3rd dimension to that? What if you made the game but better? Is what they thought about, because they made Risk of Rain run, and they were like, we can point, you can shoot in these directions, and then they sent their best guys to the R&D lab. They were in there for years, and they came out with Risk of Rain 2, and all they did was they added a 3rd dimension, and it made the game infinitely better. Infinitely better. There's synergies in here. There's hidden areas, hidden goals to unlock characters. All the characters, they feel so different. This, honestly, one of my legitimate criticisms of Enter the Gungeon is I don't think any of the characters feel different enough from each other. I think basically all you're changing out is the sprite in the middle of the screen. With Risk of Rain, every character has a completely different moveset. You're not dependent on finding weapons to make your run more enjoyable. You're not going to make the run unless you get some good items and actually boost your abilities. But each character plays differently. I've been playing. There's a character that's just a punchy man. He just punches everything. He's got a grappling hook.
30 seconds.
Immune to fall damage. Fantastic combination. You've got robots that shoot rebar bars. You've got your standard huntress, sniper, heavy damage person. You've got a sneaky bandit that does more damage when you shoot behind them. The characters kind of make this game for me. There's a whole process for unlocking certain characters, but really the variety of gameplay that you're running into just by the nature of them having different movesets is just phenomenal.
Time. Ooh, right on the money.
Fortnite the roguelike.
Fortnite the roguelite. Eric, how are you feeling after that opening statement?
It's kind of weird that you got to finish the podcast early because I already won. Like that's crazy.
Jonah, is it true if I pop my assist trophy but then yield my time, it counts as short rest, so I can get my assist trophy again?
Sorry, as your DM, I can see that you're trying to metagame, so I'm going to say no and just move on.
All right. Eric, you got 2 minutes on the clock for your rebuttal. 3, 2, 1, debate.
The way, Mateo, that you described the boxer character is actually injected a level of levity and fun into Risk of Rain 2, a game that takes itself so seriously as you are fighting space aliens. Can I just list some guns that I think are sick from Enter the Gungeon? Where the lightsaber one is called the Fight Saber. It's bright green and reflects bullets back. There's also the Vulcan cannon. There's the golden gun from GoldenEye is just in the game. The prototype railgun that I already mentioned. There's the dragon fire that just like you're like shooting a dragon is absolutely incredible. Oh, let's talk about unlockable characters. Maybe you can unlock a character that does every single synergy all at the same time when you are using it. Maybe you can fight a rat that steals your stuff all the time. Oh, which of our games has Punch Out in it? Oh, is it my game? Oh, then I think my game must be better. It's just the weird thing. There's also, and you're talking about how they're going from Risk of Rain 1 to Risk of Rain 2. That's so great that because we saw how Overwatch 2 went, how it's so great when you go between those games and you improve on it. And also, we know from Pokemon that going from 2D to 3D is also better. That's a great point, Mateo. But Enter the Gungeon, they just released 3 free updates that made the game significantly better, especially adding synergies where if you have different passive items or active items or guns, you do different things. For example, there's something you can get with a sniper rifle where you do a 360 spin and shoot. It's a 360 headshot.
30 seconds.
It's goofy and it's fun. I'm just going to list more things. There's the Doom Guy gun in here. You can shoot a gun that shoots out bees. There's another one where you shoot a big egg and then a bunch of birds run towards things. There's one where when you finish the holster, a little beholder comes out, which is really fun. And there's just like a Raiden coil. There's just like a big tentacle. It's just absolutely incredible. I could play this game for the rest of my life and not have fun. Risk of Rain 2 is Fortnite garbage. I see my time.
That's time. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Mateo, you got 2 minutes on the clock for your rebuttal. 3, 2, 1, debate.
So, Jonah, I want to speak directly to you for a second.
Okay.
Hold on, move the vape cloud out of the way. We can't see you.
This game is absolutely Fortnite garbage, especially if you take into the consideration that the co-op in it is so much better than Enter the Gungeon. It's just another level. You're not limited to having to share weapons and figure out who's getting what gun, because as we all know in Enter the Gungeon, if you have shitty guns, you're not going to have a good time. This is my main problem with Enter the Gungeon. There are a lot.
Get good.
We have already established that I'm a smooth brain dummy boy, so I'm not going to get good. I have reached the apex of my ability, and it is flat. It is pretty flat when it comes to Enter the Gungeon. But my lack of skill aside, a lot of those guns are really bad. They are hilarious. They are great to use, but a lot of those guns in Enter the Gungeon are just bad guns. They're not giving you those feel goods. There is almost no item. I'm not going to say there's no item. There's almost no item in Risk of Rain that is a bad item. There are bad items for builds, but there's no like bad move that any of the characters have. The soundtrack in Risk of Rain. We haven't even talked about the soundtrack in Risk of Rain 2. The Risk of Rain 2 is this synth soundtrack with these driving like synth solos and guitar solos.
30 seconds.
It is the perfect soundtrack to just turn your brain off, shoot some baddies, and just unlock some characters, kill some dudes. I will tell you, I am positive that there is a storyline in Risk of Rain 2. I have yet to discover what the hell it is, and I am so fine with that because the gameplay in the game feels just so good. Let's pop that assist trophy.
All right.
All right, folks. I sure haven't played Risk of Rain 2, but you know what game I have played that's really good that I want to talk about, and then take my enthusiasm for that game and place it towards Risk of Rain 2? Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my god, this game is
15
so
seconds.
good. There's a rogue in the game. It's just like Risk of Rain. You never even really think about it, but it's really just so similar a game. It's fantastic. The characters are great. And I mean, who really doesn't want to have a little bit more vampire rogue in their party?
Time. Mateo, you got like 10 seconds.
Cool. I just have one more statement. So as you can see, if you like Baldur's Gate 3, Risk of Rain 2 right up your alley. You should check it out. They're basically the same game, is what we're saying here.
Wow, the way you turned that around, Mateo, I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. All right, we're going into the final round. Eric, if you would like, you can use your assist trophy right now, in the middle, or at the end of this segment, or you don't have to use Ryan at all.
I will lead with my assist trophy.
Okay. All right. Ryan, you've got 30 seconds on the clock. Eric, you will run right after his time is up. Ryan.
I got you.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, debate.
Boy, howdy, folks. I sure haven't played Enter the Gungeon, but let me tell you about a game I love and have been playing that has guns and dungeons in it, and is roguelike in nature, Remnant 2. Oh my god, that game is so good. The build variety is fantastic. The weapons are super cool. Weapon mods are fantastic. All the class variety is amazing. It's really just figuring out the granularity for builds and then exploring all the worlds they have and re-rolling randomized adventures. But remember, Enter the Gungeon. All right, all that happiness.
Eric.
That was like a Family Guy cutaway in the middle of my argument. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. That was so fun. Listen, the thing is that I will 100% see that the co-op in Risk of Rain 2 is great. I played with some friends. They convinced me to do it. I hopped on Discord. But then I remembered I was an adult and I've only done that 3 times. I don't have time to do it with friends. And the only time that it's fun and not incredibly impossible to do is when you have friends. You have like a party of 4 actual players who have experience and have unlocked a lot of classes. I grinded this out myself on Enter the Gungeon. The puns, there's so many puns that are not grating, they're actually fun. Here's just some of the bosses. There's the Gatling Gull, which is a giant bird with big muscles who shoots you with a big Gatling gun. There's the Beholster, the Amaconda, who is a giant snake who shoots you. The Gorgon, who's a Gorgon. The Mind Flayer, the Cannon Balrog. The Wallmonger, which is a big wall that comes towards you. It's fun, and it's endlessly replayable. I also want to say that, remember, we're doing a rogue. This is roguelike, so it's about what's endlessly replayable. What Mateo is arguing for is self-serious Fortnite bullshit. It sounds like Destiny or something. I don't care. I'm trying to play something over and over and over and unlock, so I'd rather play the bullet hell twin-stick shooter arcade game instead of trying to organize my friends to do something that I really won't only put 5 hours into. And then the final thing, in terms of this thing's fun, I'm now including a screenshot that I took, which is a gun that shoots sharks that is about the entire size of the dungeon, which is really cool. And I think that's irrefutable. Gungeon's better. Mateo, Chiefs, 2-3.
All right. All right, Mateo, you've got 2 minutes on the clock for your final round. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Cool. So I have discovered that the planet that you are on in Risk of Rain 2 is called Petrichor. So I think that's kind of cool. So there is story. Boom. Checklist. Cross that off. But no, really, I do agree. I think that Enter the Gungeon has a lot more content packed into it. But I will tell you, in the modern gaming age, with games like Baldur's Gate 3 demanding my time, with all the other titles coming out, I need something that has that loop, that gameplay loop, but on a smaller scale. I don't want to put 800 hours into a game anymore. I just don't have the time. You're talking about the lack of time to play a game with friends. I have a lack of time in general to play games, and so like I can't devote 800 hours to a game to get good. I've got 50 hours in Enter the Gungeon. I beat it with the one soft ending, and you know what? That's fine. That's all I ever need out of that game. I'm sure there's so much more that you can do in that game, but for a man with too many hobbies and too little time, I'm good. Risk of Rain 2, however, because the gunplay is so satisfying, because the movement feels so good, because the runs are so short. You know, your run time is 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so. That is exactly the amount of time that the modern man on the go has to go and kill some bad dudes with some cool weapons. And I would go
microtransactions.
Ooh, leaving 30 seconds on the table.
Mateo is arguing for the current industry standard of microtransactions.
Yep.
Yeah, I can give you an NBA game you're gonna love where you mostly play as Jake from State Farm. Would you like that? God.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack too.
All right, leaving 25 seconds on the
yielded.
All right, Ryan, as our very greatest, best assist trophy, I want to get your vote and hear your thoughts.
I thought they were both fantastic debates. I feel like the game I'm more drawn to through these debates is Enter the Gungeon. But I'll tell you what really does it for me is Enter the Gungeon's case. Just the block yellow with the smiley face, really just they're confident about their product, and that cover really shows that in my mind. When I saw Risk of Rain 2's, I'm like, yeah, they're trying a little too hard.
All right.
I mean, I know you're joking because you didn't play anything and you got pulled into this last second, but that's honestly the vibe, and it is what Devolver became. It's games like this became the house style of that publisher, one that's stylish and that everything is a gun pun, which I find deeply funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, man, Mateo.
Yes, sir.
You're speaking to my heart. From one smooth brain dummy boy to another, telling me that Risk of Rain 2 feels like Fortnite. Right here in my chest. I love it. Eric, I'm sorry. We are smooth brain dummy boys. We like Fortnite. Not the building stuff. Ew, get that trash out of here. But just
no building. I don't need to burn brain cells trying to figure out how to build stuff in that game.
Yeah, we got to keep as many of those in our head as possible. We just like to go, oh, I shoot you, I win.
Man, if I shoot things and big numbers come out, even better, dude. So much better.
I will say that there is something you can get, a passive item in Enter the Gungeon that reveals the damage output you're doing, and so you could see the numbers go. So you can get that. Numbers do go up. Numbies go up.
Numbies go up?
Numbies go up.
We're out of time, so that doesn't count. So I'm sorry. I'm still gonna have to go.
I'm a Steph Curry shooting threes from outside the Oracle now.
Eric, which one are you voting for?
Oh, I'm voting for Enter the Gungeon. Yeah. Also, not only because it's a better game, but my argument was much better than Mateo's.
Oh, hey, look at that! Enter the Gungeon's on sale right now.
Enter the Gungeon is $6. See, look, I'm not even. I know I don't have it up. My hands are here.
Wow.
I looked this up. It's like $5 on Steam and like $7.50 on Switch.
$4.50 on Steam right now.
Yeah,
Even better.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Eric, but my vote is gonna go to Mateo for this one. He got me with the synth music and
I hope you
I am very curious where Steven would stand on which one he actually thinks is better, because I don't think either of them are really his style.
But Gungeon is an isometric game, and Steven really doesn't like isometric shooters, so I think he
That
would
is
go
fair.
for Risk of Rain.
I feel like Caden is all Gungeon.
Oh yeah, Caden for sure is all Gungeon.
Shock, the 3 DMs would be the ones who.
Listen, there was an update called Advanced Gungeon and Dragons. Like there's
That's
so many
good.
D&D references in this game. You can unlock like a shrine that gives you lets you roll a d20 and gives you random upgrades and downgrades. Like there's so many references in this.
I do wish there was a little bit more humor in the Risk of Rain world. If we're being to be completely honest, honestly, the reason I don't care about the story in Risk of Rain is not because of a lack of caring about story. It's just the story is just so dry. It's just
It
so
is dry.
not impressive.
I just want people to buy Enter the Gungeon so they make Enter the Gungeon 2.
Aren't they making an arcade cabinet?
They did. They made an arcade cabinet, but it was that one just came out. and
Well,
it
I
was
thought
like
they made a sequel called Exit the Gungeon. That was bad.
That was for Apple Arcade stuff.
Oh.
Just for money.
I heard it was
Yeah.
really bad too.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Make a
Yeah.
good game?
It wasn't real. No, it wasn't real.
Oh,
Like,
it's not real.
like-
Oh, you're right.
Like,
It's a
it's-
mobile game, not real.
No, it wasn't. It was definitely a cat. You could tell it was a cash grab. I'm like, Godspeed.
Bless your heart, honey. It's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you would like to vote for Enter the Gungeon or Risk of Rain 2 as the best roguelite of all time, you can in the Cast Your Votes channel on our Discord. And speaking of the Cast Your Votes channel, let's go into last week's debate, which was with Gabby from Easy Allies representing Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Steven representing Red Dead Redemption 1, and which one of these cowboy games was better. Winning with a whopping 2 points. Winning by a whopping 2 points. I don't remember.
Bye.
By with a number of points. Gabby won. Hooray!
Good job, Gabby.
Good job, Gabby.
Good job, Gabby. You did it. We're proud of you.
Deservedly so.
And now that the chaos is starting to settle, we'll go on to the pitch. And we're back from the debate. It's time to pitch some games. Ryan, I think we'll start you off on the pitcher's mound. You've got 2 minutes to pitch a game of your choice. Are you ready, sir?
Oh, yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
We all love a good competitive game every now and then, right? You know, a little competition between us and our friends to stoke some friendly rivalries. What about the competitive games that make you want to murder your friend because of what they've done to you?
Do not all games do that for you?
Not every single competitive game.
I have 150 hours in Mario Kart. I know what you mean.
Okay, yeah.
I had to stop playing checkers for that very reason.
We've got a lovely free-to-play game on Steam that can host up to you and 5 of your friends in a lobby. It starts out as friendly competition, but by the end of the night, you're blocking somebody's number. You're never talking to them again. Things get angry and violent. It is an absolute blast of a time, and it was made during COVID by the developers because this is a game they played in person that they wanted to be able to play while lockdown was happening, which is why they released it for free, and it's just a blast. And then there's a few microtransactions you can go to support, but it works great. It's an absolute blast of a time. You will love and hate your friends by the end of it if you didn't when you started. And I will cede my time.
Ooh, leaving 45
Mateo, that's for you. You
seconds.
love microtransactions.
I mean, he said free to play. I have too many friends, so it would be useful to play a game where I get to block some numbers.
Oh, look at this guy. I've got too many friends. Get out of here, Mateo. I'm sad and alone. Can you go a little bit into the gameplay for me?
It's a card game.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's I think it would best be described as competitive solitaire.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you think of a solitaire layout,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of having your own pile of aces, you have to share all of the aces.
I think I played the IRL
In-person version.
of this.
Yeah.
I just played this with my mom and her friends. It's incredible. Yeah.
All right.
Really,
Yeah,
I'm selling you on a card game that's free to play on Steam.
I'm all in. This is ticking like all my boxes. I'm so into this.
Let's go.
Nerds Online.
Oh shit, that's incredible. I cannot believe this. I just learned how to play like last month. I'm so in.
It's an absolute blast. It plays great on the computer. You and your friends will be screaming at each other over mouse DPI settings, trying to get the fastest and most accurate. Just like it's worse than first-person shooters.
No, my internet lag! Damn it!
Yeah, that is an accurate representation of moments of my 43 hours of playtime on Nerds Online.
Oh my god!
How many hours did you just say?
43.
That's how long.
That's a respectable amount of time, honestly.
That's how long Mateo played Gungeon.
I need it. There's no more. There's nothing left to do in that game.
One time, yeah.
And I really like how it scales for more players. So when just you and one of your friends are playing, you get like 6 of your solitaire rivers to play with. But as more people enter, it gets reduced to 5 and then 4. So you have tighter, constraints on how you can build things. The biggest difference between Nerds and regular old solitaire is you don't have to put a king down on an empty spot. Any kind of card can go down on an empty spot, which is very important for clearing your Nerds pile, because that's how you gotta get points. If you clear your Nerds pile fast enough, you start giving negative points to the opponents in the game. I have beaten people and left them with like negative 170 points, and that's what I mean about blocking numbers. It's you play to 120 points sometimes.
I really appreciate the Steam reviews on this one. It says, totally nerds your friends with this one easy trick. This one says, this is a psychological horror game if your friends are weird enough.
I feel like that could be said about just about any game, though.
This is so funny that it's come around. I learned this from my mom. So my mom lives in Nashville. I learned this from her friend, because Nashville is a city of transplants, and she's from like a farm in the middle of the Midwest, like Nebraska, and she played it with like her 10 brothers and sisters. So I'm just like, oh my god, the game Pam taught me. That's incredible.
Bless your heart, Pam.
If you play long enough, you will hear in your dreams, all aces, no spaces. You just will. I promise.
Love it.
It's the one voice line, and it's so worth it.
All right.
Every time.
Oh my god, I need to fall from like a really high point in Only Up, and then hear all aces, no spaces.
All right. That's Nerds Online. I love it. I think you got a triple buy. Very nice, Ryan. All right.
Easy when the game's free, to be fair.
Yeah, that is true. All right, Eric. You're next up to the pitcher's mound. You got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
Hey, you kids are really loving Baldur's Gate 3. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're making characters and you're having adventures and you're seeing what's up. But there's a game that game's based on, which I think you might be kind of interested in. And
Whispering too?
yes, yeah, exactly. That lets you know, but it's even larger than any one company or coder or group of people could put together, because you play with your imagination.
Oh,
And I think that's really great because you can really go outside the bounds of what just Baldur's Gate 3 has. And maybe you're like, hey, what if this game, I was doing it similarly, but what if there wasn't rampant fantasy racism that was integral to the plot? And if you could just talk to one person about that and they'd say, oh, no problem. I'll change that for you. If only that existed. And I'm telling you, you can. Also, you can play games that aren't just fantasy. You can play ones that are cyberpunk. Maybe you could play one that's kind of like a slice of life with maybe you all have superpowers. Maybe you can play one where you're a heist crew, or you play one where you're a bunch of bears. There's so many different things, and you just it's the power. It's the thing powering Baldur's Gate 3. And instead of giving money to Wizards of the Coast, you can give $10 to talk to some person who has 253 followers on Twitter and made the single most beautiful way for you to explore your trauma. It's just out there. It's out there for you.
30 seconds.
I see my time.
Okay.
I don't have to play Baldur's Gate 3. I do some other shit.
This sounds pretty rad. I think I'm into it. I think I figured the game out.
Yeah.
It's Exalted, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you nailed it.
I think I'm in. I didn't know that there was racism in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, there is, because that's
A
the
lot.
fantasy genre that Wizards of the Coast is peddling. I think the thing that people forget that has really been like getting under my skin about like the Dungeons and Dragons movie and also Baldur's Gate 3 is like you're not playing Dungeons and Dragons. You're playing or watching a movie or playing an RPG set in the Forgotten Realms, which is a series of novels that were based on a setting made by a guy all the way back in the TSR days. Like, this is a setting, this is a world that they are propagating and selling to you. And like, they're like, oh, you want this? Here it is. I'm giving it to you. Give me $60, $70 for this thing. Like, we're exploring IP. It's not just like everything. It's not everything. It's not the game of Dungeons and Dragons. It's literally IP. And I just don't understand why people. It's something that confuses me. And I think it behooves Wizards of the Coast to smush their IP with something that's so like ubiquitous, right?
Yeah. Ryan?
But I'm recommending tabletop RPGs at large, not just Dungeons and Dragons.
My only gripe with this pitch is the microtransactions are terrible, honestly. Who is really bought into it already? God damn those microtransactions.
No. I hate it when you gotta get your DM a pizza so that they'll let you have a falcon.
No, I'm absolutely in. Yeah, I'm DM. I got you.
I got you.
I'm here.
All right, Mateo.
Screenshots from that where I'm just like someone rolled like on like a DC of 30 and then they rolled a nat 20 and I'm like, why would someone put you in a situation where you can roll you need to get a 30? Like, that's crazy. And just like seeing it abstracted like that, like it's funny in Disco Elysium, like something like that, where it's like they're really playing with the form to try to get at something else, but seeing it like just reserved to you, like your mom telling you that leftovers is a different thing, like taking something and turning it into meatloaf. I'm like, no, I'm using my imagination. I got it.
Mom's
Man,
meatloaf.
Disco Elysium's such a solid game, though. Honestly,
so good.
Yeah, the microtransactions are brutal.
Terrible. God.
All right, Mateo.
I think I've had at most $4 at any given time in Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Mateo, it's your turn to step up to the pitcher's mound. You've got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
Okay, so what I'm pitching y'all today, you might have seen it on Twitch. Like it was kind of big on Twitch for a while. It might still be, honestly.
I've already pitched
Check it
Fortnite.
But so this game it's really about like timing your jumps properly and using creative ways to get higher up. Like a lot of there's just this overwhelming drive to get as high up as you can in this game. So I find that it's a lot of like very carefully planned jumps. It's satisfying whenever you can make these jumps properly and you can get to whatever you're trying to get to. There's not a lot of meat to this game, honestly. Like I don't know if I'm going to use the full
It's
the
just
full time
potatoes.
of the pitch.
It's just
It's really just potatoes. I mean, I haven't even beat it yet. So like I don't know like what the end game looks like because I am just not great at, moving upwards. So I think what it really comes down to. But there's something kind of enjoyable and satisfying about it, even if you're not making it all the way to the end. Something about that journey, that just finding the next spot, the next spot, the next spot, and just that loop itself.
You have a hard time
Very
finding
satisfying.
the spot, though, Mateo.
So I think that might be most of my time. I will tell you there is a lot of customization in this game. The story, it's kind of in your face, but yeah, if you like moving upwards, if this is kind of the game for you, and I see the rest of my time.
Leaving 25
Neopets.
seconds on the clock. Neopets. Wow.
Neopets.
It's funny that you say Neopets because my wife and I were actually talking about Neopets like 2 or 3 days ago.
I think Neopets is about to relaunch, or they have relaunched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to check out Neopets then. Let's go. Ryan, how are you feeling about this game?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm in or not. How much is this game?
Ooh, I would need to look that up. I think it's pricier than you think it would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's definitely on the pricier side. I've been told there's a lot of content though, and
Yeah.
I think that there's future content planned, but it is definitely on the pricier side.
You threw me with the customization. Now I'm not sure. It's probably Overwatch 2. Now that I'm thinking.
Get me into Overwatch again.
Overwatch 2. It's pricier than you think.
That is
Overwatch 2. Yeah.
brutally honest tagline for that game.
I think I'm going no. I don't think I'm
Ooh.
buying this one.
That's fair.
I watched so many. Oh, I know you're making a joke about Only Up. I've watched so many of these different types of Only Ups that exist. Like now there's a Mario 64 version of Only Up.
That's
It's
great.
a Mario ROM hack that's just like jumps like that. It's really it's super interesting.
Oh, that
And
would
there's,
be
like,
so
the whole-
fun though, with like the Mario triple jump and then the back
Yeah.
jump.
The wall jump.
There's a lot of, I think, I watch Grand Pooh Bear a lot, and he's doing a lot of that stuff. You can watch his VODs. He's been playing that a lot because he's like a Mario guy. So I don't even know what it is specifically with the customization is really getting what I'm like, oh, it's Among Us, of course.
The statement of it's pricier than you think. I think that's gonna put me out on this one. I'm sorry, Mateo.
That's fair.
What if we refuse to buy?
The game is Baldur's Gate 3 because the amount of puzzles I've solved just by jumping in that game.
Well, I guess I already bought it.
Can I a different game that Baldur's Gate is based on?
Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah, we're into it.
Fantastic. I love the bit pitches. They're
It's a tribute to Caden, is what it is. We
yes,
don't have
it
Caden back yet. We've got to
absolutely
bring
is.
some Caden energy.
yeah. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Oh, I was thinking I don't have money to buy Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm not gonna buy this game. That's exactly what it was.
Nailed it.
Woo!
Can I tell you something really funny about Baldur's Gate 3?
Absolutely.
Like, and I don't know if this is about Baldur's Gate 3 or just like how broken Dungeons and Dragons is as a game, but like, there's a reason why your level cap is level 12 because after that it just gets too unwieldy
broken.
and fucked up. So,
Mhm.
and the video
Wait.
game designers were like, "Why would you do this?"
The level cap in Baldur's Gate 3 is 12.
It's 12.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
20.
No.
There's no way Larian could design for like spells past level 5, dude.
Okay.
Magic past level 5 is so insane in the Dungeons and Dragons rule set
I
that
think-
it's wild.
I think about that all the time now that like I understand game design, at least on a tabletop RPG level. That like the reason why is that when they were playtesting at 5th edition, which is D&D Next. They have like a really extensive one because 4th edition beefed it so hard. They really did. And the reason why is the people that they did it were they played Magic user characters. So the people who submitted feedback were the ones who were like, oh, I love it when I use Magic. Magic. And they didn't do Martial. That's why the Fighter and the Ranger are such bunk and why Wizards get so OP so fast. It's a game for people who like being bards. And I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, guys? Because they were all like friends with Jeremy Crawford or some shit. Like, it's just ridiculous. Right?
I love bards, so leave me alone.
They're the worst. If you would like to call yourself the Mary Sue of the party, then yeah, go ahead and be the bard.
No, I think Jonah could attest. Cleric is probably my most played and favorite class to gravitate towards. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Monk is my personal favorite. But
Monk is always my favorite. I don't know, man. Something about just being like a punchy dude.
And using key points like that, where you can just like, oh, all of a sudden I'm a superhero. There we go. Instead of like, I use my 6 of this spell. I use my spell slot so that I can change reality. Fuck you. Like I just want to run up a wall. Like,
and the appropriate response to someone using a spell like that is just to run up and punch them, just like in real life.
I never got to play this character, but I built a Fire Genasi monk. And it basically turned into a firebender from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it was so rad. It was so rad. Yeah, that was the pitch. We had what was it? Nerds Online. We had tabletop RPGs and Baldur's Gate 3.
The perfect trio.
The perfect trio. Eric is disgusted by you, Mateo.
To be fair, I had the idea for the Baldur's Gate 3 pitch like 5 days ago.
I love it. Please check out those games. We love to represent them. Maybe not Eric, but it's okay. We'll see you guys in the game.
Well, it's time for the game, y'all. So let's channel little Steven here. Crikey! The game today is Metacritical. That's all I got. That's the best I can do for my Steven impersonation. He's gonna love it. So the idea behind this game is we're gonna go in rounds. We're gonna give points. Jonah, you're keeping track of points.
Sure.
Is that how we typically do it?
Yeah, I can do that.
We're gonna go through some games. We're gonna look up their Metacritic score, or I'm gonna look up the Metacritic score. Y'all are gonna try to guess what the Metacritic score is. We're gonna give points based on whoever's closest. Would do 3, 2, 1 for the points. Closest gets 3, second 2 points, 1.
Closest without going over.
With no Price is Right rules. We'll just do
okay.
closest.
Okay.
We'll just do straight closest, or if you nail it, we'll give you a bonus point too. Whatever. We'll
So-
toss that in.
Can we?
So I thought it was the other way around, that we were trying to guess the game for the number, and I was like, oh yeah, we can't go over.
What if? Okay, let's throw in a little curveball. Whoever gets closest can go for a bonus point to guess the fan, the community Metacritic score
that.
too.
Yeah, user score.
User score.
Okay.
Thank
Ooh,
you
the user score. Okay, I like that.
Okay.
for the
Cool.
bonus.
Okay.
point.
So let's see. We will start with just we're just gonna do some ones just to kind of like get a good baseline,
Okay.
kind of tune y'all in a little bit. So the first game we're going with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for the PlayStation 2,
Ooh.
and we'll start with we'll go around the line. So we'll start with you, Ryan.
88.
Eric.
Eric?
Oh, I don't know what yours looks like. I thought you were going to prompt me. I think people really love that game. I'm gonna go with 93.
I will go 92. And not because
Wow.
I'm Price is writing you, I genuinely said San Andreas. I'm like 92.
Okay, so
Sure. Oh, sure, Jonah. Whatever you tell yourself at night. Sure.
okay, so we've got 3 points for Eric, 2 for Jonah, 1 for Ryan. The meta score is 95, Eric, for a bonus point, what is the user score? And this is apparently on a 10-point scale that allows decimals.
Oh, one hilarious. I think that people think this is like the people who buy every single Madden that comes out, like they love this game. So I'm gonna go with a 9.8.
Ooh, it is a 9.1, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine.
Wow.
A little bit more critical from the fans of the game, apparently, or the users, apparently, than the Metacritic score itself.
Hey, Jonah, keep Price is Writing me so I keep getting the points. So
Okay.
Like, keep doing that. Yeah.
You got it, boss.
Let's see. We're going to the year 2007 for this one. We've got the Xbox 360 classic Halo 3.
Oh.
Eric, what is your guess?
See, again, this is another game that I think was groundbreaking. I wonder if people were dismissive of it by that point. But I guess did this have the Arbiter in it, Alex?
Mm-hmm. Alex?
This did have the Arbiter in it. Okay, so it's tough.
I think it did.
I'm going with 83.
83. Okay.
Jonah?
I think it's higher than that. I'm gonna go 88.
Ryan?
Where would Halo 3 sit? And I'm going to go with an
It's the third one.
87 for Halo 3.
Good. Price is Writing him smart. Good.
So the score here is a 94.
Whoa!
Really?
So we're going, we got Jonah for 3,
Mhm.
2 for Ryan, 1 for Eric. Jonah, for a bonus point, user score.
You know what? I'm gonna say a 92.
It is an 8.2 or an 82.
Oh, 82.
See? The fans are the people.
You said that, and I was like, he nailed it. The fans were very dismissive of this game, apparently.
That's what the thing is. Like the critics, were like, "Wow, pushing Halo forward, another incredible entry. Halo can do no wrong. It's just improving on it, more multiplayer, da 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 da." And then the fans are like, "Fuck the Arbiter. I don't understand what that means."
We're gonna bring this a little bit more modern. We're going 2020.
Ooh.
This game might be one of the most classic games of our generation. Like, I don't know that we're gonna see another game come out like this for a while, if ever. The game is, of course, Bug Snacks for the PlayStation 5.
Ooh. Okay.
Jonah, what is your guess?
84.
Ryan?
78.
I'm with Ryan here. I think that because it's more modern, also we're dealing with critic fatigue imagine trying to play all of Bug Snacks in one night. I would not have a good time, especially with the body horror involved in it, right? It just comes out of nowhere. So I'm gonna go with 75.
I gotta tell you, 75 is right on it. 75 is absolutely the score.
Whoa!
Damn.
Yes, fuck, Jonah! Ride my fucking ass like that! Get absolutely fucked.
So we'd do 3 for Eric, 2 for Ryan, 1 for Jonah. Are we giving a bonus point for getting this Metacritic score right on too?
You know what? I'll give Eric 4 points for that, for getting it right on.
On the money.
And user score, let's do another bonus point. Whatever. This game, the points are whatever, they exist.
I think user score was better. I think a lot of people who voted for this probably put it higher. I think this would be closer to 8.7.
Ooh, it is a 76. No bonus point there.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Pretty in line.
Sorry, I
Freaking
can't shoot
sniped it.
two. I can't shoot two
In a row.
buzzer beaters in a row. Sorry.
Let's here's a fun one. We've got another Xbox 360 certified classic, came out in 2010. The game, of course, is Fable 3.
Ooh.
Eric, first guess.
This is right, but I do want to set the table with this and see how the other folks respond. I'm gonna go with a 69.
Nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
Good, they're distracted by thinking about 69.
Jonah?
I'm gonna do a 73.
And Ryan.
I had 71 in my heart from the start, so let's split the difference. 71.
The score, it actually got an 80, which is surprising.
All right.
So who was that? We're going Jonah, Ryan, Eric. 3, 2, 1.
It's interesting. It's like, again, I guess they were like you gotta like, that's still within like we can only give good scores to games I kind of enjoy.
You know what?
You
I
know,
think
like-
I'll go with the 7.3 for the user.
For the user
Yeah.
user score?
Yeah.
Ooh, the users were mean to this one.
Yeah, I
We've
figured.
got a 66. We've got a straight up 66 on it.
Yeah.
I'm the people's champ. All the ones that I get one, I absolutely nail. I feel like I should bring up like, when did feminist frequency begin, and then start to dial my stuff around that.
Let's see. We can do how many more rounds do we think it here, Steve? Jonah, I've got Steven. I've got so many more of these, but I don't know how we're doing on time.
Let's do 4 more.
Okay. Let's go super modern. We're going with a game that came out this year.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3.
One of my top runners for game of the year, honestly. Dave the Diver.
Oh,
Starting with Ryan.
89.
I think Ryan knows.
Eric.
Ryan, that's really interesting. I'm also trying to think of this as like, how many reviews actually made it into this Metacritic? How many, like, were there
31,
enough
apparently.
people? But it's like low. Like it's just crossing that finish
Right.
line. So it's gonna be something a little bit weirder, maybe something a little bit rounded. I'm gonna say 85.
I will go 87.
So, they appear to have a typo here, actually, on the Metacritic site because it says 89, but I think they meant to put 100. But funny enough, Ryan is still closest, so we'll give him a bonus point for that. Just it's a typo, but whatever. Like we'll roll with it.
Wait, Ryan, you got it on the nose. Did you know that?
I happened to be looking at the top like 100 Metacritics 3 days ago with a buddy of mine. We were just going over scores.
Just,
and looking at the
just
year.
bros being dudes.
We really were. I swear to God. Because I was like, I can't believe fucking Baldur's Gate 3 is above Tears of the Kingdom by a point. He's like, that's
I don't get
insane.
it.
I'm like, you have to go to game 20 to get to a game that's not like starting with a 9 this year.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad that this came out now, so that people will come to their senses and remember that Tears of the Kingdom is going to be Game of the Year. And luckily, October is going to wipe that from everyone's mind. Like, imagine everyone coming with the, regardless of gender, raging boner that they have while playing this game, going into GOTY conversations. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we've got Starfield coming out here soon, and assuming they don't bungle that, I think that's going to be a heavy contender as well, honestly.
But yeah, it's like Starfield's going to wipe it, Spider-Man 2 is going to wipe it, the new Assassin's Creed for the...
Oh,
people
Mirage
like
looks
that.
so good.
Mirage
And then of course
good.
my Mario and the new Mario game.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's gonna, hopefully people will like take a cold shower and will be able to talk about it.
All right, Ryan,
So,
what's the user score?
Yeah, I was going to say, Ryan, because we reward, because the point scale is all kinds of messed up in this game, apparently, that we've done on the fly, for an extra bonus point on top of your bonus point, user score.
Did I look at the user score for Dave? I don't think that I did. I'm going to guess the user score is a little bit higher. Let's go with a 9.1.
That's about where I would put it. Unfortunately, it is a 79 for some reason.
Really? Wow. I've, like, the people I know who've been playing that game have only told me great things about it.
Yeah.
So that's
Mhm.
shocking.
I
It is
can only
my-
assume that people who bounced off of it immediately like hit it with threes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
review bombing's a real problem on modern user scores.
Mhm.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, bringing it back around to Eric. We're going with another classic game. A game that series that doesn't make any sense to me. I have never gotten into it, but I don't even know what this genre is. The roll 'em up game. Katamari Damacy for the PlayStation 2.
Oh,
It's the original, okay. Well, it just so happens that like me and all my bros, Jasper, Michael G, Michael F, and the Splooge, we were all hanging out
Shout out
looking
to
at
the
Metacritic. We were looking at Metacritic and getting ready to look at women's nipples, and I actually saw this. No, I actually don't think that I think that there was a lot of anti-Japan sentiment. Hard pivot, guys. A lot of anti-Japan sentiment, as you can see in like old G4 videos.
Oh, yeah,
where people
yeah.
were still like looking at it like the Orient, which I mean with the largest amount of quotes around it, because that's how they looked at it. So I think that especially because it wasn't that must have been the one from PlayStation 2. I think it's much lower than we think. I think I'm gonna go with 65.
Ooh.
Jonah?
I'll pull an Eric Silver. 69.
Nice.
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 The Splooge and Michael G are super into that now.
Hell yeah.
And Ryan?
Let's go 65.
65 is taken.
Oh,
By me.
numbers. 67. We'll split the difference again.
It's a tight grouping there. That is a very tight grouping.
like
This
it
one was
tight.
very well received, apparently. 86.
Oh.
Interesting. I'm
Which is
surprised.
surprising. I'll tell you, I never understood the appeal of these games. Maybe I don't do enough drugs to understand the appeal of these games.
What I like about what I'm doing is I'm monologuing so that I look more right even when I beat it. So I'm pulling these smooth-brained guys with me so I look more right.
Your monologue got me distracted, honestly. I kind of forgot what game we were ranking. Forgot
You're
your
like,
score.
I also have a friend named the Splooge.
How many Michaels does this guy know?
Well, Michael F and Michael G at least.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't talk shit about Mikey G. He's the OG.
So we've got 3 points for Jonah, 2 for Ryan, 1 for Eric.
User score, I think the users are a lot higher on this, so I'm gonna say it's probably a 91, 9.1.
Oh, so close, 88, dude.
Damn it! Wow, is that the closest that the user score and the critic score have been?
No, there was one away.
Yeah. I think y'all guessed one of the user scores. I also have the memory of a goldfish, so like, I don't know, where am I? what are we doing here? Let's see. We've got another one for y'all. This one I actually kind of enjoyed. It's very much in line with the monk conversation from earlier. The game is Absolver for PlayStation 4. Came in 2017.
That game was cool.
Mhm.
I know it didn't review very well, so I'm gonna go with like 70.
I remember the name of this game and nothing else. I can't there's not an image of like what this game looks like.
I
comes
believe
in
the
mind.
guys that made Sifu this was their previous game.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's the same kind of
Um,
punchy style, but co-op.
Let's go with 68.
Jonah, what did you do?
70.
70.
Bring it home.
I'm gonna do 71 because fuck Jonah. I also don't know anything. I've never heard of this game before now.
So this is an interesting one. So the score is 69.
I told you to send it out.
So please award 2 points to Jonah and Ryan. I guess is how we're gonna resolve this.
Okay.
And y'all can have
Okay,
a
I was
blow
like,
off.
I can't do 69 again. I can't. I'm gonna do
What
all
you
above.
should have. It was right. It was in the air. It was wafting upon our nostrils.
And for the bonus point, Ryan, use your score.
Oh, do we both get to guess? Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay, I like this.
Say 7.1.
Okay, Jonah.
I'm going to say 6.5.
Ooh, that 6.5 is close. 55
Oh, damn.
Oh, really bad.
was not well received by users.
Bad, not good.
Like a 5.5 user score is like a 30 on a test in school. Like it's all failing at some point, but like you drooled on the paper, my guy.
You spelled your name wrong. Let's do another one here. PlayStation 5 came in 2022. I believe someone on the podcast is a huge fan of this game, but I forget which one of us it is. But I can tell you it's not me because I have not played it. Game is The Artful Escape, starting with Ryan.
Ooh, I have debated about this game before on this very podcast. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this game. I love Artful Escape. I want to say it was critically enjoyed. I don't know that it was like really critically acclaimed. I would let's go with like an 84.
Okay.
Eric?
I have literally never heard of this game. I was going to Price is Right Ryan, but now I'm taking into account that if I had never heard of this game, it was not in any Game of the Year conversations because I definitely listened to a ton of those. So I'm sure that like in the contracts of the devs, it was like, if you get an 80 in Metacritic, we'll give you health insurance. And they didn't do it, right? So I bet it's a 79.
Dark. Going dark here.
You know what? I'm feeling cynical. Let's do a 74.
The score is 81.
Ooh.
Which actually, I guess, means they got health insurance.
They
So
got health-
yay!
they got health
Wow.
So that is 3 points for Eric.
Sorry, I'm looking at the contract. So yes, they got health insurance, but below an 85, they got paid $2, a $2 bonus.
Yeah, and no dental.
Nah.
That's how they get you, dude. That's how
They're
they get
all now forced to live at Ubisoft Montreal.
like in the corporate office. They have like
Yeah.
bunks set up there.
Yeah, they're living there. They have to use Ubi dollars to go to the canteen.
They sleep in the Ubi pod.
Yeah.
There's a season pass you pay though. It'll get you bathroom access, one free snack from the vending machine. Eric, guess for the user score or a bonus point.
Go with like a 6. I've literally never heard of this game.
Oh, is that like a point? Would that be a 0.6 on the user score?
Oh, sorry, just a 6.
Oh, 6.0. Okay. User score is actually 80. 8.0.
Wow.
It's a really good time. It's maybe the best music has ever been intertwined into gameplay.
Wow,
It's,
interesting.
It's a fun indie adventure about a little coming of age story.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm tallying the points right now.
It's also a rock opera,
Oh,
space rock
fun.
opera.
Space rock opera. I heard the one where this was being debated about. I forget who it was, but I guess it was you that was very
Yeah.
passionately describing it.
I was defending that, and Travis was defending. Oh God! It's a rhythm game, very popular, very poppy music.
Parappa the
aesthetic.
Rapper.
No, more modern. I want to say it starts with an S, but I had the name and then it drifted away.
Just Dance.
Ooh.
That's crazy that I've never heard of it, especially it never even came up in any Hi-Fi Rush conversations. Like, I'm so surprised.
It's in a different way. Like, I feel like Hi-Fi Rush utilizes the music as like a beat, right? Where like pressing different buttons literally creates different music in Artful Escape. Like you have a guitar while you're walking around, and as you play with your controller, you're playing different songs.
Got it.
All right, Mateo.
Just like Bards.
It is so I've got 17 points, Ryan's got 17 points, and Eric's got 15 points. We need a tiebreaker or for Eric to swoop it. I don't think you can steal it.
I can do it right now. Okay, whoever's closest gets closer. This is actually similar to how Ryan got this score in the first place. Let's see if you guys are paying attention to video game news. What score does Overwatch 2 have on Steam right now? It's a percentage out of 100.
That's a good tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Critic or user?
It's a user.
User?
User.
I'm gonna say 24%.
Okay.
30.
Jonah, you got it.
The 24 gets it. It's got a 2
20
out of 10 right now on
Whoa.
Steam.
It is 9%. 9%.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Real bad. Real bad.
Real bad.
Where do you see percentages on Steam?
That was
I
my
think it's a
question as
percentage
well.
of like positive to negative or something. I just, that's like the tweet going around right now.
Okay.
Oh,
The
I
interesting
see.
thing- Yeah, the
Yeah,
interesting thing about it is that a lot of it is from China because Overwatch had shut down their servers a while ago.
Oh, really?
And now like they don't have like a dedicated China server anymore. So a lot of it they're pissed at like at the, at least I guess still Blizzard. They're pissed at Blizzard for like doing a bad job as a company, not even of why everyone else that this is just like a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, congratulations, Jonah.
King of guessing. I guess,
good try,
I
else.
guess- Because I won. Suck it, Eric.
Honestly, I mean, y'all were pretty spot on with most of these. I think
Yeah.
there was like one or two when you were like getting tweaked a little bit and tuned in, but
Mhm.
pretty close.
I love
I
it.
mean, you got those points because you were on my ass getting 2 points when I got 3 points. But yeah, that's fine. And Ryan couldn't Slumdog Millionaire his way to finding events in his life to come up with all the numbers.
Ryan unintentionally pre-gamed.
Yeah. Just what I do.
Hey, I might have rode on your coattails, but a win's a win.
Well, let's see. I was reading Game Informer in 2010 at the Blockbuster, and I saw the Metacritic score.
There were still blockbusters around in 2010? I thought they were all gone.
There probably was. When did Blockbuster end?
I don't know. While you're looking that
There's
up.
like one more.
Yeah, there's still one open somewhere.
Oh,
Is
there
it?
is.
It's in Oregon.
What?
Yeah, it's in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an attraction, I guess.
It's a museum at this point. Yeah, it would be an attraction.
Yeah.
I think it still works though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think
it's a
cool.
working museum.
Did you know that Netflix just recently stopped doing the mailing out D&D
Yeah.
DVD thing?
Yep.
D&D.
2010 is when Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy, so they
Oh.
were still around.
You know what?
Okay.
That reminds me, and Kyrian, my wife, is gonna get very upset about me bringing this up because we went to a Blockbuster and we were pretty broke, but they had oh god, what is that game? Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen on clearance, and I was like, babe, I gotta buy this game. It's sick. She's like, fine. So I bought it and I played like 2/3 of it. I lost my save and I stopped playing it. She's like, you didn't even beat the game.
I love that you up this at the end of like 2 hours of her being like kind podcast partner quiet, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking roast you at the end, and she can definitely hear you.
Oh, she definitely can hear me. I'm surprised that she's not coming around the corner throwing something at me. There she is.
Here's this great story about how I'm a big idiot. Here we go.
You know, Eric, you summed me up perfectly again.
Wahoo!
Hey, so I had pizza at the Hungry Sasquatch. The sign was just a circle with the Sasquatch eating pizza.
Here we go. And then Jonah tells a story that has no point.
That's my life. My life is stories with no point.
But just imagine you're doing like a Mario voice line before you do it. Or it's like, Waluigi's gonna win, and then you told the Sasquatch story.
All right, we're gonna get back on the rails, and we are gonna close out the show. Eric, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a blast.
It's been a hoot and a half. You've got time to plug whatever you'd like to plug and share some final words.
Hell yeah. Yeah, well, if you like me coming on this podcast, please come out and check out my other podcasts. I joined the party where I'm the best DM in podcasting, where Jonah can even say that he is very much enjoying
Facts.
join the party.
Yes.
Right now, Campaign 3 is a pirate story set in a world of plant and bug people. Where you think like I was about to say Overwatch because of everything that was talked about. Think about like One Piece meets Redwall or Plants vs Zombies. I also have two other shows where Games and Feelings, which I talked about, Games Advice Podcast, where we do a lot of stuff talking about all types of games and talking about like the advice questions, kind of like Am I the Asshole, but for games only.
Oh, I
And then
love
Tell Me
that.
About It. Yeah, Tell Me About It is a game show, kind of like Taskmaster, but a podcast where people come on, talk about their favorite thing for a deranged billionaire. And I'm his little audio butler, and it's played by famed podcaster, improver Adel Rafai from Hello from the Magic Tavern. So that's a lot of fun. And then you can follow me on the socials. But you can follow me on TikTok. I'm having a lot of fun on TikTok.
Ooh,
Eric the Silver there.
love it. Ryan, as our second guest.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Check out, is it Twitter or X.com these days?
We call it by its dead name. It's Twitter.
Twitter.
I shouldn't make that joke. That's terrible.
Okie dokie. That was you.
FF Games Pod for all our latest content. I want to shout out for like 10 more seconds though. Remnant 2, folks. Goddamn, that game is so friggin' good. Like, I understand Baldur's Gate 3 came out and it's a hot year for video games, but holy shit, Remnant 2. Did you know there's a whole class for that game that was intended to be data mined to be found? And in order to get it, yeah. I have it because a buddy of mine figured out the process for getting it. But you have to have like one class at level 10, one class at level 5, 4 different pieces of armor. And then when you get when you hold a specific weapon, you become corrupted. And like your entire character starts glitching around. Like there's a problem in the code. And you can go to a certain area in the world and a special door opens up. And it's like the back rooms at the developer's studio. And there's a freaking class back there. There's no other way that like, people were getting mad that no one can have fun anymore, find these things on their own, and the devs came out and they're like, it was supposed to be data mined.
That's awesome.
Hold on,
Now,
I need
am I
to
going-
let my brain drain out of my ear real quick because you just melted my mind. Holy crap.
That's tight.
Now,
It's really good.
Am I going to enjoy Remnant 2 if I've, completely beat Enter the Gungeon? Like, is there still stuff? Because I've heard that they're very similar games.
Yeah,
I'm just Mateo, you're not gonna like it because you love no fun and whimsy at all. So you're not gonna like it. No.
All right, Mateo, you got your final thoughts?
I don't really have
One-up
anything. I don't have anything great today. I've been painting some minis. Go paint some minis. It's
Ooh.
fun. It's relaxing. Bob Ross has a YouTube channel, and they just stream Bob Ross 24/7. And putting Bob Ross on and painting minis is one of the best ways to spend your Saturday. So go do it. Otherwise, shout out to the Splooge, dude.
Shout out to my main man, the Splooge.
What up?
Hey, Mateo, I can plug something for you. Hey, Mateo, great job. I can say that I hired him to do fog work for my 80s cover band.
Yes.
He hits that vape hard, folks. Hire him for all your fog related needs.
Back to you, Jonah.
A quick question: what are you painting the minis for?
Mostly for funsies. So I got this little bone golem that I painted, and then I just painted a little cannon the other day.
Hell yeah,
nice.
that's so rad. All right. Well, I'll get into some housekeeping. We got some dope merch. I just got an email from Redbubble saying that they got 50% off on stickers. So if you want to get some GGD podcast or guidance stickers, you can.
Sick.
We dropped the first episode of GGD Gaiden, and right now we are going into we're about halfway through the bromances, so get your top 5 lists out there for the bromances, and that'll be dropping the week after this show, so make sure to check that out. If you'd like to support the show or the Discord, you can find us on Patreon at Great Game Debate. And you know what? Final thoughts. Eric Silver, it's a pleasure meeting you. I loved having you on. Excellent,
Absolutely.
sir. I love your shows. And as always, folks, happy gaming. See ya. Thank you to all of our supporters at the $5 debater shoutout tier. Wes Bates, Pucho, Dan Gieslin, aka Aviator Gamer. Thank you, and shout out.
As always, a big thank you to our friend Misdriven for the music in our podcast. If you like what you hear and you want to check out more of what they have, you can pay them a visit on Twitter at MIST_RIVEN 719 or on Bandcamp at Misdriven. Thanks again for tuning in. Till next time.
What am I eating after we record? Is it a pizza day?
Ooh. Dude, there's a pizza place just down the street from my house. It's called Hungry Sasquatch, and their sign is a yellow circle with a Sasquatch in it eating a slice of pizza, and they got bomb-ass pizza.
Jonah, I don't want to ruin the story because I'm on your podcast, but like, that's what I assumed the sign would be.
Yeah.
But you were like, all right, the sign, and you're not going to believe it's the sign. Dale Gribble Pizza. And I'm like, why?
I didn't even get to the best part. It's a neon sign, though.
Bros, you're not going to fucking believe this.
Why do you think I relate to Troy Riptide so much?
Oh, God. I know Amanda went similarly. So yeah, I'm feeling the vibe. It's good.
You know, it's constantly said on here that Mateo and I are smooth brain dummy boys, but Mateo is actually like an IT manager. I just deliver packages. I am the smoothest of brain dummy boys.
I mean, networking really just comes down to delivering packages, Jonah. So
Oh, God.
that's an IT joke. That is an IT joke. That's cut that. We don't need that in the recording.
Jonah, that face you made is emote worthy.
Hold on. If you could say the joke again, hold on.